Hi, my name is Julian DeRosie from the IIF. We are here at Minds and Money in London, joined by Nicole. Nicole, hi, how are you doing?
I'm great, thank you very much.
So Nicole, first maybe for the viewers that don't know you already or the company you're working for, can you introduce yourself and your company?
For sure. Hi, I'm Nicole Brewster. I'm the president and CEO of Renforth Resources. We trade on the CSE, RFR, and the OTCQB as RFHRF.
So there's not much giveaway in the name of your company of the commodities you're doing for.
Correct.
So can you tell us a little more about what you're searching?
For sure. We started as a gold company. We have a gold deposit next door to Canada's largest open pit gold deposit, but we staked a significant land position which has become evident has a large-scale battery minerals system of mineralization, 20 kilometers long, the first one, and the second one we've proven up to 9 kilometers long so far.
Okay, great. So let's separate that in two. So biggest project, I guess you're talking about Malartic next to...
We're next door to Malartic, our Parbank gold deposit, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then this is one part of the story, but the other part of the story right now, which might be more to focus on because of the talks, because of everything that's going on, are the battery metals. And when you're talking about battery metals, are we talking rare earth, nickel, graphite, lithium? What exactly is it you have?
Almost everything, which sounds ridiculous,
yes,
but
it does.
The property is 330 square kilometers. It's about 4 times the size of the island of Manhattan.
Yeah.
The 20 kilometer and the 9 kilometer trend, our Victoria and Lalonde, give us nickel, cobalt, platinum, palladium group elements, interlayered with VMS stringer giving us zinc, copper, gold, and silver. So it's a basket of all the battery metals. And then further south on the property, we actually have lithium. We have several pegmatites, rare earth elements in the pegmatites, and then lithium right now only associated in the sediments, but we're testing a pegmatite we actually press released for lithium.
So this is
totally
incredible.
Separate story.
So
4 kilometers south, totally separate.
Absolutely incredible. So first of all, out of the first one, let's call it polymetallic. I don't even know what is the main, what is the byproduct of what.
Well, and this is, we started out thinking it was nickel, to be honest with you, and the nickel is about an average of a 0.25 percentage point, but we've drilled as high as 3.4% nickel. So we think nickel is the main commodity. However, zinc is looking very interesting, and in any case, we would, at some point in time, we'll produce an equivalent number.
Exactly.
So will it be equivalent of nickel or equivalent of zinc or equivalent of copper? We haven't made that decision yet. We've only drilled about 10,000 meters in 3 different areas, each area 4 kilometers away from the other, in 4 small drill programs. So we're very early.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this is fun because it's barely open. A lot of commodities, it's a big basket, obviously, for sure. And then that means down the road, quite some interesting metallurgic work to be done and so on, but that's further down the road. So you said a few drilling campaigns. What were the highlights, and maybe explaining it in the past 3 months? What's a little more specifically, what did you get at drilling results? And then we're going to be looking up at what's happening in the next few months.
Yeah, so in the last 3 months, we released our December drill results, which were right beside the road on the property, right beside the power line, the hydroelectric generating station power line. Interesting because we saw gold for the first time in the VMS. So that's a key ingredient. There's a VMS mine to the north of us called Laurent, which is a gold-rich VMS mine, right?
It's very, very
So we're in the neighborhood, and it's very gold-rich, correct. So we saw gold for the first time. That was from our December work. And then in March, we did some more drilling. We went to the very western end of the property on Victoria. We drilled 2,000 meters or so. But we saw more of the graphitic mudstone, which is zinc-rich, in that area than we've seen anywhere else on the property. So things changed again. That's the first exploration work ever done there.
But then if I hear about your drilling campaign, I somehow have the impression that all of that is very shallow. Is that?
It's very shallow. That program was shallow. Deepest pierce point overall is about 160 meters. And we've outlined 3 areas of interest, all removed from each other. The metallurgy that you touched on, I don't anticipate an issue. My inspiration is the Terrafame property in northern Finland, where they're using a heap leach on a polymetallic that's pretty much the same as we have. So if they can do it, and we're in Quebec, we're in Quebec's near north, and we're not north of the Arctic Circle.
No,
we're in a phenomenal mining camp, so I'm sure we can do it. If they can do it, we can do it.
Well, for sure. And then, so looking back at it, so we got this big basket. Then you see there's also pegmatites being done. How within the next few months, where do you draw your focus? Because it has to be a difficult thing to have all of those exceptional possible
Correct.
deposits.
There's
and
lots
so
of
on. I mean,
potential, but we're a small company and we can't chase every balloon.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So we're going to chase the lithium balloon because shareholders ask, and it's my job to find what is the best economic story.
Yes.
I am not concerned with which metal it is at the end of the day. So in May, we'll be out prospecting for lithium. We'll prospect some of the pegmatites, but we'll prospect unexplored ground, which is very high potential for pegmatites, be they rare earth or lithium-bearing pegmatites. That'll be May. We'll get our results back from our drilling. I would expect in the next month or so that'll come out as well. And then we'll be looking at where to drill next on the battery metals, because the polymetallic system is the focus. It's the low-hanging fruit. We have the road right to it. We have the power line right to it. And we're working from the road to the west, which is on Victoria. That's about a 6-kilometer length. In Lalonde, we've worked off about 750 meters of strike. So there's still work to be done on the polymetallic. Lots of work.
A lot of work, but phenomenal beginning, I would say.
It's a great beginning. We've got a mineralized package that's a couple hundred meters in width, north-south, and its length is 20 kilometers. So when we put a drill into it, we're hitting metal. There's no question. Question is how much metal, and question is, like you asked earlier, which is the most important? We don't know yet.
Exactly. Well, those are going to be great questions to be answered within the next few months, within the next few years. Obviously, I think the project like that is bound to evolve in time.
Correct.
And move a bit and find its way into what is the most profitable and economical. You have a lot of baskets of commodities. Those prices change through time, so what might be the focus at one point might be a different one, and not many companies can actually have that flexibility that your deposit might give you. So what about this share structure, and maybe giving us the cash on hand from the last financials?
For sure. So I built a retail company very deliberately because it's a little company, and we generate a lot of news. We do a lot of exploration. It appeals to retail shareholders. There is about 325 million shares outstanding. In my own name, I own outright a bit less than 4% of those shares. I get paid in shares, as does the CFO, and then I buy the shares. I also have other shares that I own in companies where I'm a shareholder. So I'm very motivated and very aligned with our retail shareholders. On hand, we have a bit of cash. We have a couple $100,000 on hand, but we also sit on an investment that the market today is probably worth a little bit more than $2 million, and that comes from a previous property which I developed and sold. So we have many other properties in our portfolio as well, and I am going to try to monetize some of those other. We're not going to get to them.
Well, one thing is sure, when you do have the impression that you have a deposit that is worth spending 5 to 10 years on, and then you might have 2 of those, and then might have 3, and so on. Well, then at one point having 15 doesn't
other
make sense.
things doesn't make any sense.
GVs spinning out and so on are obvious.
Well, and
reasons.
even part of Surimo, I may divide the property up and spin off things like the lithium and
exactly.
Well,
for sure, and then
we can't do it all.
No, time is limited, and basically right now also qualified personnel are hard to come by. There's a scarcity. There's a big boom in mining in Quebec, lithium specifically, nickel. There's a lot of it. We touched gold earlier. Gold is at 2,000. I mean, a lot is happening in Quebec. So for sure, as a company, having a focus and being able to tell the shareholders what this roadmap would look like is always a plus. But not again, many companies have the liberty that you have with yours. So Nicole, maybe one last thing. How can we get more information about Renforth Resources? Are you online? What's your website? And how can future investors current investor can reach you out? So
you or any interested investors can reach me, Nicole, at renforthresources.com. The website is renforthresources.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. Sort of on Twitter. I think I'm forgetting one, but anyway, you can, Facebook is where I do most, and there's an RFR shareholders group on Facebook that's private, and you can always just give me a call, 416-818-1393. I'm very accessible.
Well, this is great to hear. So obviously, best of luck, many deposits. Like,
Right?
it has to be fun to be you right now. That's my
A lot of things to do, a lot of
All
things.
right. Great. Well,
Yeah.
Nicole, thank you very much
Thank
for your
you.
time, and best of luck for the project.
Thank you. Thank you.